Ever since the COVID 19 outbreak, the entire research and the government are focused on only one thing, which is the development of this vaccine. But the population is spread across the most remote places on earth, and the major issue which will arise is the distribution of these vaccines to those places. So, building such a supply chain would require a lot of time and a lot of money. So, our idea proposes to use the pre existing cold drink supply chain, which has its root even in the most remote regions of the world, and save enormous amount of money and save lives.
This is Utkarsh Varun Sharma, and my objective is to investigate the various initiatives taken by the UN because it has been single handedly at the center of the pandemic throughout. It is important for our project to know what the UN International Forums has been up to because their model for distribution of vaccine is going to be taken up by most of the countries, if not all. And we need to keep our systems updated with their guidelines, which is why this investigation becomes crucial so that we know what changes have been made, what has been approved and what has not been approved, so that our project does not get affected by the fluctuating guidelines set by international forums.
Hi, I'm Juhi, and today I'm here to talk to you about the government initiatives as far as supply chain management and mass distribution of the COVID-19 vaccine is concerned. With the COVID-19 cases peaking in the last few months, the government actually has a huge challenge on its hands in terms of development, manufacturing, and distribution of the vaccine. In terms of development, various number of indigenous vaccine manufacturers, especially Pune Serum Institute, have been working day and night to develop a vaccine, and they are very, very close to an effective solution to the pandemic. Now that the vaccine actually will come out, what happens? What are we going to do in terms of distribution, and what does the government have in mind? Various government officials have named the Universal Immunization Program as the scheme that is going to be used again for the COVID-19 vaccine distribution. However, what is to be noted here is that the immunization program that was introduced for polio, hepatitis, rotavirus, and various other diseases was a scheme that was put into place various years ago, and it's safe to say that it's quite outdated and it doesn't quite target the population in the way that would be required for a pandemic like COVID-19. An independent study that was published earlier had also reported that at a cost of a whopping $3 billion, India is only going to be vaccinating about 30% of the population. That being said, the government is therefore going to be highly relying on third-party companies, organizations, and other humanitarian efforts to distribute and carry the vaccine to the masses.
This is Anshul Singh, and my objective is to tell about the vaccine manufacturing company with recent updates. The first one is the Pfizer. In March, Pfizer announced a joint venture with BioNTech SE to develop the distribute BioNTech mRNA-based COVID-19 vaccine candidate BNT162. The second one is the GlaxoSmithKline. GSK announced in February that it will give access to the vaccine adjacent platform to the University of Queensland in Australia. The third one is the Indian company Covishield. Covishield has reached a phase 3 trial. Covishield, developed by Oxford University and pharma major AstraZeneca, is being tested by the Serum Institute of India, Pune.
Good evening, sir. I am Gokul from Team Matrix. Today I am going to tell about the minimum transportation requirement for a vaccine from one place to another place and the obstacle faced in the pandemic. So, as we already know, the manufacturing is being manufactured in many manufacturing industries, but the main problem we face here is the transportation. And for the transportation part, we need to follow certain rules such that the vaccine won't be ineffective or it won't be destroyed. So, to attain this process, to attain this thing, we need to follow one certain main thing, that is cold chain process. In this cold chain process, the vaccine need to be stored all along the transportation or the storage and everything. It need to be in a temperature of range +2 to +8 degrees centigrade. So, so that it won't be ineffective or won't be destroyed. So, it need to be followed from the point of manufacturing to the point to where it is administered to individual thing. And we need to follow 3 certain things during the transportation of vaccines. 1. Manpower, better transportation equipment. Manpower, for us it is that supervision of the vaccine during this cold chain process. and 2. Better transportation, efficient and fast transportation, equipment to provide this cold chain process. And there are certain things which if we won't follow, the vaccine will be ineffective, such as if the vaccine is exposed to sun or fluorescent light, the vaccine will be ineffective, or if the vaccine is not in the range of +2 to +8 degrees centigrade. So as we already know, during this pandemic there is a very strict lockdown, so the main obstacle we face is transportation, and for the creation of new transportation we need much capital and expenses. So to overcome this problem, we use the already existing logistic supply chain management. So thank you.
I'm Donna Joe, 18 BCI 0257, and I will be talking about the various hurdles in establishing new supply chain. When establishing a new supply chain, a major thing to be kept in mind is sourcing. Various multiple sources all around the world is what people normally tend to use. But right now it is seen that using global sourcing and political agendas are proving to be more harmful than advantageous, and because of which we have to shift to regional or more local sourcing. And another thing that is affected by the COVID-19 pandemic, as we know, has affected supply chain gravely. Another thing that has been affected, just like sourcing, is costing. This could be mitigated by using efficient warehouse techniques. Now, another thing that we have to keep in mind while establishing new supply chain is the supply relations. Initially, the entire idea was to have minimum lead times with the lowest possible cost. But right now, what people want is they are ready to pay extra in order to get things more faster, and because of which supplier relations would help in better output in a shorter period of time. This can be done using collaborations and various things like that. Unforeseen delays in the case of global sourcings cannot be overlooked, for which we have to have buffer stocks in place. Fast changing markets are what we see right now. It is not the market that we saw like 6 months ago was not what it is right now, and hence the supply chains of the future have to be flexible. The tomorrow's models have to have new priorities in optimization, and hence we see that supply chain that was initially just a back or behind the scenes organizational role has come to the front and has become or has proven to be the prime driver of the business, with human assets greatly influencing.
Hello, my name is Shashank Gupta, and my study on the network of cold drink supply chain has helped me understand that it consists of mainly three stages. The first is the supply chain begins with the procurement of agricultural products, example, sugar, fruits. The key ingredients like sugar and water are often sourced locally to save logistics and to also boost the local economy. In the next stage of the supply chain is the production of concentrate, which is the key flavoring agent, which is often done at some other plant, and then the concentrate is transported to the bottling facilities where it is mixed with water, sugar, and other ingredients to produce the finished product. The last stage involves the packaging, the distribution, and the marketing of the finished goods to the local restaurants, grocery stores, cinema, etc.
Hello, my name is Kisle Kunal Singh, 17 BC 0402, and I'll be talking about cost of transportation of 1 carton of cold drink. Now, our topic is transportation of COVID vaccine. So, I went through and did some research from internet as well as some of my father's acquaintances. Now, let's talk about individual companies. So, I did research on Coca-Cola. The cost per carton is rupees 260. Storage for Coca-Cola is their own proprietary, so it costs rupees 7, and transportation cost is rupees 10 to 19, which is standard for every single company that will come further. Lemon Frosty, which is a rather individual company and a new player at the game, the cost per carton is rupees 140, and storage cost is rupees 8, and transportation is same 10 to 19. Sports Lime, it's rupees 150. Shahi Jeera is rupees 160.
This is Goel Aditya Kumar, and based on my team's finding and my own research, I've come up with this business model canvas. Starting with the key partners. which are NGOs, government, sovereign company, philanthropists, affiliates, vaccine manufacturers, and hospitals. These key partners will have direct role in the key activities of the organization, which are transportation of the vaccine, improved delivery time, and solving the problem of the distribution of the vaccine throughout the remote places. Key resources involve cold storages for storing the vaccine, refrigerated trucks to transport those vaccines, human, which involve web and mobile app developer, research and development, and distributors. The platform involved where all the data of the customers are stored. Unique value proposition which are associated with the organization are convenience of vaccine delivery network, low prices, early delivery, remote location reach, and a scope of improvising it for the greater good. Even after the COVID-19, we can improvise this network for the future purposes. Customer relation involves self-service website and apps, real-time tracking of the entire vaccine transportation, automated logistic distribution. Distribution channels involve affiliates, website and apps, and refrigerated trucks. Customer segments are government, hospital, patient, soft drink supply chain, and vaccine manufacturers, because we are trying to create a web of this network and to form a synchronous distribution network for the COVID vaccine. Cost structure, which is basically the expenditure involved in setting up the organization, which will be IT infrastructure cost, general administrative cost, and the data center cost. Revenue streams, or basically the way our organization is going to earn money. It will be acquisition and investments from the other companies, sale of the vaccine, and the subsidies promised by the government. Thank you.